Abhishek, take one.
Hi, I'm Abhishek from Kinexcs. I'm the co-founder and CEO. Kinexcs is a health platform and wearables company enabling and empowering people for mobility and a better quality of life. So my company Kinexcs is building the world's first continuous monitoring wearable device for the knee, joint and knee health. It's called KIMIA. KIMIA literally translates to alchemy in Persian. Similar to how a continuous glucose monitor tracks the glucose levels for a diabetic patient, our product tracks mobility and knee joint health for a patient who's suffering from conditions like osteoarthritis or has gone through surgeries like anterior cruciate ligament, which is basically ligament tear for sports patients. On a day-to-day basis in the company, I am in charge of customer development, fundraising and business collaborations. Building a product and building a company is like raising a child. Similar to how when the child is young, the concerns are different, and when the child has grown up, the concerns are different. That's exactly how I feel about my company and my product as well. When you start out, you have concerns like, how do I find the right partner to develop the company? How do I find the right team members? How do I find the initial batch of financing? And how do I identify the technology to solve the problem? And that's going from nothing to something, 0 to 1. Now that I'm 4 years down in my journey, I have a product that's kissing the market. Started booking initial sales. The idea here is the challenge and idea here is to get to 1 from 1 to 10 fast. That is talking about month-on-month recurring revenues, expanding to overseas markets, proving that people not just use your product but love your product, and it's providing the value that you started out promising to people that my product will provide. So a lot of things that you sold 3 years back, 4 years back to your investors, to your early backers and supporters, you got to prove that right. You got to prove that, look, I didn't just say, I'm actually doing it. And so for me, going from 1 to 10 and proving all my stakeholders that, look, I've done it. I said this, I promised this, and I've done this, and it's going from a scale to a scale which you could be proud of. So that to me is the biggest challenge at the moment. So the number one thing that I always kind of feel about myself that has been my biggest learning is speed. In the world of startups, speed is everything. It's a business of competition. Who gets there first, who gets to the market first, who gets the exposure first, who is the first in the industry. And one of the mistakes I did was not to market my product more aggressively much more earlier, because that is what determines the success of my company, and not having moved fast enough early on. And this is an advice which I would give to all my fellow founders and entrepreneurs, that the number one thing you can focus on and should focus on is speed.